They say it's the classic joke about the Jews that you take it, they're about to be killed by the firing squad or in the pogrom. They're standing outside the gas chamber in Auschwitz or at the edge of the pit in Babi Yar, about to be executed. And one Jew says, "Hey, wait a minute, maybe you should something." Or the other one says, "Be quiet, you don't want to make things worse." The Goyim never need an excuse, but that's what I'm saying. This is a non-Talmudic idea. This is actually a Jewish, I guess, a stubborn Jewish facet of our inherited culture. The sages wanted us to keep the Torah, okay? And we're supposed to keep the Torah, and the Goyim do not get a veto on us keeping the Torah. And they can't tell us, you know what, if you start doing this, we're going to be upset at you, and then we're going to massacre you. I actually put out a nice video about this about 2 years ago, addressing the Aguda and Rabbi Avi Shafran about this. Instead of me saying it again, I'll send you the link. But it's kind of silly that you tell Jews, don't keep the Torah so that you don't upset the Goyim or God's wrath. And it turns out it's actually the opposite. You're supposed to keep the Torah, and that's how you protect yourself from the Goyim.
I think it's a fair argument to say that the Torah is saying "Al pikuach nefesh" not to go up on Har Bayis. Might be a violation of the Torah for that reason to be going. It could be.
That's quite novel. You were telling me about
I don't think it's so novel to say that when there's bodily harm that will be applied to almost all Jews because of a particular action on Har Bayis, that therefore we shouldn't go up. I don't think that's if that's novel. You never thought of this before? You don't think
I've thought of it before, but I've heard this in many ways. You know, they said the same thing about living in Eretz Yisrael, but you live in Jerusalem. I think you live in Jerusalem. It looks like you are in Jerusalem now, right?
I'm in Yerushalayim.
Do you know how many Goyim have made war to try to destroy? They have destroyed us. The Goyim have said, you're like filling in the X.
Rabbi Grossman,
I said mitzvah X,
As I mentioned before, I think that the national security of Eretz Yisrael is really important for the security of every single Jew. I really firmly believe that.
I'm looking over at Tel Zion. I'm looking over at Tel Zion right now. Do you know how many people told us living in Tel Zion is the problem? That's endangering Am Yisrael. Living in Tel Zion is endangering Am Yisrael. I know you didn't say that, but that's what they say. I know you didn't make that claim, but
that's nice for them.
Yeah.
The claim. I usually don't make claims here, but the claim I am making is that I would think that if a person goes on to Har Bayis and does anything intense, what that's going to do is it really will incur the wrath of the Goyim, which will hurt people. And I'm not sure that that's the best thing.
Here, watch this. Look at this sentence. Okay, we will incur the wrath of the nations. Can I write it that way? Look, let me share the screen with you.
Here, okay, so then we will incur the wrath of the nations, and therefore there will be bodily harm to Jews.
Okay, so look at this. Look, here's the fallacy. That's why I like dealing with instead of the particular cases, just the general idea. Do you see it here?